It's 4 p.m. on Thursday afternoon, Thursday the 4th of July. Just going to take some video of the wind each hour as we head toward the arrival of the hurricane, the arrival of Beryl from our front balcony. It's definitely picking up, but nowhere near hurricane strength at the moment. Even in our apartment, the wind is blowing a little. It's mainly due to the fan, of course. It's about an hour later, it's 5 p.m. Hummingbirds are still feeding all the time. Yeah, they're making hay while the sun shines. Although the sun is now gone and we are getting the first sign of some clouds, strong gust of wind. Let's zoom in a little bit. So this is probably 30 to 45 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 55. So a little bit of a strengthening of the wind so far. No sooner turned off the camera than all of a sudden the rain comes down and the wind is strengthening. And the hummingbirds are feeding. Well, it's 7:10 and the hummingbirds are trying to get the last feed before everything shuts down for the evening. Wind's definitely picked up and the clouds, as you can see, are dark and they're heavy. So we are definitely now on the fringes and the outskirts of that hurricane. Let's zoom into the trees here. That's definitely a lot stronger than it was at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. The jungle is absorbing a lot of the punishment, and around my feet I'm feeling rain while I'm standing on the balcony here. And that is now 7:15 in the evening. And it's a frantic race to get all the sugar water that they can. Here you can see that it was about 10:30 at night, and I took the measuring tool and saw that the eye of the hurricane was about 190 kilometers from us. Obviously, we were going to bed at this point. Now, what I've done here is to play forward at faster speed the hurricane coming toward Cozumel, which you can see there is a tiny island in the top left-hand area. And this literally just steamrolled it over us, then went on to the Yucatan Peninsula, roughly through Merida, and then out into the Gulf of Mexico in the morning hours once we got up. Yeah, we took almost a direct hit, and it was a terrifying experience, lying in bed and hearing all the noise and the sounds of the fierce storm. So this is the morning after. It's 8 o'clock or just after 8 in the morning. And when I got here, we had taken in the hummingbird feeders. When I got to the front doors here, I had about 10 hummingbirds looking at me and flying around, wondering when they were going to get their food. Some of the damage is fairly visible. It's not really bad, not bad at all, but unfortunately, our beautiful tree might be able to be rescued, but it was blown right down. Hummingbirds are fighting like crazy. Clearly the hurricane has gone past the eyes well into the Gulf of Mexico. We're just left with lots of rain and still some winds that follow it. So this is the only area in the apartment that suffered any damage, and it is water leaks, as you can see there, from the window frames. So quite significant, but obviously we'll have to wait until the weather has turned dry to be able to address those, but it's definitely leaking much of the way along and on the actual edge of the frame. So as we come out the back door here, we've got signs of trees that fell over, mats that have blown off from the top of the roof, which was obviously going to happen. Right over there, there's Mike walking around with a machete. So you can see the trees that have bent over and fallen over from the wind there. Amazingly, some of the others standing straight, no problem at all, like these ones. And then this one pushed over. A lot of people put tape and cardboard on the inside of their windows. We didn't do that. We know for next time, but nothing broke, no windows broke. And they've got some kind of metal anti-hurricane shield. So some of the guys did it properly and pretty costly, I would imagine. But this came down from the penthouse. That wall, it turns out to be sheetrock with aluminum framing. So that is what I can see the only casualty around the buildings, other than some cladding that came off on ours. But yeah, this completely tore off and blew over. It fell down. So here we are on the back road, and this is Ogwa that we used to stay at. And certainly the trees have been hit quite hard. You can see there. Just snapped off in the wind. And all along this road, there's evidence of everyone's out to take a look and see what's happening. We're getting some rain now. I have just been told by somebody that the entrance to our property, 800 meters up by the guard hut, a tree has fallen right across the road, so we won't be going anywhere until that's moved. But it's amazing how surprisingly resilient many of these trees are. Just astounding that there aren't more broken trees. As you can see, as you look around here, a lot of them just look the way they always did. Let's go and have a look at the car. Covered in leaves, but that branch broke. Lying gently across the hood of my car. So covered in leaves, covered in mess, but not a problem. And yeah, lots of broken branches in evidence everywhere. So there, I removed that branch. It's lying on the ground, but the car's fine, completely unscathed. And now we'll go back into the apartment and wait for electricity to be restored. Downtown, it was very obvious that there was a lot of damage. Given that, it was quite amazing that we got our electricity back, at least one circuit, within 4 or 5 hours of getting up in the morning. We still have one more circuit to be restored, but we're very grateful because this could have been a lot worse. We did suffer almost a direct hit, and the result of that was just very minimal damage in our apartment and minimal damage to the trees and the vegetation around. So we're thankful for all of you, for your kind thoughts and your words and your prayers, and we're just happy to report back that it's much better than we feared.